Last week on Sheep Shape, we dug into the archives in celebration of Deer Week. Rick Carone headed to eastern Colorado in pursuit of mule deer.
I mean, he's a monarch to me. I don't care what anyone else says. He's something that I'll never forget.
Chad Hall headed to Illinois for the second annual Shutdown Cancer Hunt. His trip was hit by a Midwest blizzard, but he was still able to knock down a big, mature whitetail. Chad Hall has recently headed far north from Florida to the Northwest Territories. Here he will meet his good friends that will be sharing the adventure with him. Over the next few weeks, they will be climbing the mountains in pursuit of moose, Dall sheep, and caribou.
It's raining, it's windy, not exactly nice out. We're trying to organize our gear. We gotta weigh everything, get our hard gun cases put away, and hopefully make the weight. Kind of like we're a prize fighter going into fight day. We got to make weight before they let us go.
This is the only flight out for the day, and with bad weather closing in on them, they have a short window of opportunity if they want to leave for base camp. So the crew quickly packs their gear in hopes of taking off.
It's going to be pretty rough. Not pretty rough, sorry about that. It's going to be a bit bumpy on the climb. That's what I was going to say.
A bit bumpy.
We're going to pass through the front range where the clouds are at 5,500 feet and higher, and after that we're going to go through the valley. So if there's anything during the flight, just let us know. Heat, if you're cold, too warm, just let us know. Head on our shoulder. My name is Simon. So have a good flight, guys. We'll be departing in the next 5 minutes.
The whine of the propellers begins to fill the air. The trip has officially begun. The land below them changes from low wetlands to hills, then into mountains. Chad enjoys the rough ride as he peers out into the never-ending beautiful landscape. Nestled in the middle of the mountains, the Lancaster family has a well-established base camp. Clay and Jim Lancaster and their crew have successfully managed their land and guided hundreds of successful hunts. Clay sits the crew down to prepare them for their trip.
And again, what this is, it keeps a running total of all the animals that you see. You know, it doesn't have to be exact, just keep an idea in your head of how many caribou you see, how many calves, how many cow moose, how many calves, how many bulls. So just keep an idea on that. Number of grizzly bears, because you will see some of them too. When you get back, we just fill this out. What this does is it actually gives our game department a really good idea on a per day basis of what people are seeing for animals out there. And in turn, for 25 years, you'd be amazed at how few the numbers have went up and down in the Northwest Territories. And they're smart. They actually leave us to manage our own guiding territories, and it makes a heck of a difference.
This untamed wilderness holds some of the world's largest Alaskan Yukon moose that thrive in the willow bottoms. Herds of mountain caribou that produce giant mature bulls. Majestic Dall sheep that can grow into record book full curl rams. And thriving grizzly bears that keep the ecosystem in check. This is why the Northwest Territories is dubbed Canada's last frontier.
That leads to my next part. You're gonna find some grizzly bears. Some of you guys are gonna definitely see grizzly bears for sure. There's no shortage of them here. When it comes to the bears, hand your gun to your guide. He will make the discretionary decision whether or not that bear is acting in an aggressive manner or not. That being said, we've never had a bear, knock on wood, bother any of the camps. It's always when we're out there hunting and also you come around a corner and it's a head-to-head kind of situation. So Just keep those kind of things in mind though. Don't leave your gun 20 yards away leaning up against a tree. It's not gonna do a whole lot of good if all of a sudden we got a bear camp, all right? Okay, you guys are good to go. Thank you for showing up.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You ready?
I'm ready. Whenever you're ready.
Far right target.
Thank you. Perfect. Excellent. Right in the orange. Bullseye. Perfect.
At the shooting range, sighting the guns in, make sure everything's good. Nobody got their scopes bounced around, and Tom's gonna shoot the first round out of the muzzle here.
First time with the Gunworks.
Yeah.
Nick and Tom will be heading out first for moose and caribou, so they need to make sure their rifle is zeroed in case there were any major bumps during transportation.
Left side.
Left.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna send it. All right, bud.
Good shooting. Good.
The Gunworks cases have once again protected their rifles on the long cross-country trip. In less than a few hours, the team will soon be at Spike Camp, ready to begin their once-in-a-lifetime Alaskan Yukon moose hunt. This segment has been brought to you by Buck Knives, Edge of a Legend. Chad Hall and his friends have recently touched down in the Northwest Territories after 2 long days of traveling. The crew is anxious to put their boots to the test. Nick and Tom are packing quickly in hopes of catching a flight to Spike Camp before bad weather rolls in.
Well, we just got done with dinner, and they told Tom and I that we're going right now. So we have 15 minutes, and we're going to Moose Country, which should be an awesome trip.
This pack weighs about 50 pounds. I'm sure it's gonna feel like 100 after about an hour on the trails. But blessed to be able to do what we're doing.
We're waiting for the chopper to come pick us up to take us to our bike camps. And Scott just went out, and now we're waiting for the chopper to get back to take Nick and Tom. And hopefully we'll be not too far behind them. You just don't know with the weather moving pretty quick, these dark clouds, if we'll get out today or not. Hoping we get out tonight so we don't lose the whole day tomorrow.
Here comes the chopper.
Yeah. Time to go, boys.
With excitement in the air, Tom and Nick load up and head out on their first moose hunt. The ominous weather rolls in and blankets the mountaintops before the helicopter can make another trip. Chad's hopes of getting out to Spike Camp tonight have been cut off. He will have to wait it out until the morning.
We're just getting our gear packed up here. We're going to be leaving out here on the helicopter to get in our spot finally. So we've been a day in camp, and we're going to get all rounded up out here so when the helicopter comes in, they can take us out to our camp. And then we'll have a day of waiting, and then tomorrow we'll start moose hunting. So excited. We've been sitting here. It's been a long travel, so anticipating a successful hunt. So we'll see what happens.
While Chad packs his final belongings, 45 miles away, Chad's friend Keith has already made his early morning climb to the closest ridge to glass for moose. It's the first day of his hunt, and he has already put eyes on several animals.
I spotted one right over here underneath this tree, and he's a big moose, but he laid down. It's 8:24 in the morning, so he might be laying down for a few hours. And then we got moose right in front of us. Nothing big, but Still moose. It's a cow and a very small young bull moose.
While Keith continues glassing for a mature bull, Chad and Brady just landed where they will be moose hunting. The team wastes no time in setting up camp. This far north, weather can roll in at any time, so the team begins working together to set it up as quickly as they can.
The furthest back one.
Furthest back one.
There's the other one.
Chad and his guide have experience putting together camp, so it takes no time. Within minutes, they are already set up and ready to call this place home for the next few days.
So we just got our tent set up. We gotta wait it out here as we flew today. We can't hunt till tomorrow, so we'll have some time to kind of collect our thoughts and get a game plan for tomorrow. And these moose have been sitting right down in this river valley, so you know, if luck pays out and they don't stay in the timber, we should be able to get a good look at one first thing in the morning.
This segment has been brought to you by Wild Sheep Foundation. This segment is brought to you by Gunworks, 1,000 yards out of the box. Deep in the Northwest Territories, Chad Hall and his guide Brady have recently set up spike camp on top of a ridge overlooking miles and miles of moose country. They have many long days ahead of them, so the team takes a break to enjoy some camp food. A few hours pass when Chad spots some unwelcome visitors across the valley.
Well, it's really cooling off here at camp, and we just got on the binos because we had some grizzlies right over here by camp, right 1,500 yards from us. So we're just keeping an eye on them, make sure they don't move too close in our direction. But really that's all that's going on. Wind's still kind of blowing pretty steady, but we're just waiting it out for the morning so we can start our moose hunt. But we're going to keep an eye on these grizzlies, just make sure they stay far enough away from camp before we go to bed. Well, it wasn't so bad last night sleeping. It was a little windy there for a bit, and then it died down. And
Nice cloudy night. Wasn't too bad. So I think once we have some breakfast here, we'll just head up, kind of back behind us here, and get on a good knoll, glass around, and see what we can turn out.
that's the plan for sure. See if we can spot a nice big moose early and put a game plan together.
With a warm cup of coffee and breakfast, the team is energized and ready to hit the mountains. They pack up and begin their search for a giant Alaskan Yukon bull moose. 50 miles away, Chad's friend Keith is gaining some altitude as he hikes to a hillside overlooking moose country. As they begin to glass, rough weather rolls in just as they spot their first big bull moose.
Nice bull. We're gonna watch him here for a little bit and possibly make a play on him.
The team is over a mile away, so they wait on the weather to see if they can make a game plan for the day. After hiking for several hours, Chad and Brady have made it to their high vantage point and begin glassing the willow bottoms.
There's one way down on the river there, just on the right-hand side. Kind of way up there where it S-curves.
Yeah.
If you look on the right-hand side, there's a cow standing there. So the river disappears for quite a while there.
Yeah.
Where there's like two forks in it, and then it disappears around that corner.
Yeah.
And you keep coming around the corner.
Oh, I see it way up.
Way up there. Well, there's got to be a bull here somewhere.
I think I might have him. I think I see one. Yep, for sure I can see his horns moving. I see a bull way out past this first stretch of timber moving around.
I don't see him.
He just disappeared behind that.
Was he coming this way or?
Huh?
Coming this way?
I can't tell. Might be.
I think maybe let's just move to this ridge about 500 yards ahead of us here. I think
That
we'll be
one
able
over
to.
there?
Yeah, we'll be able to see down a little bit better into where that bull just showed up. So let's try that.
Brady quickly makes a decision to move up the mountain to gain a better view of the bull moose and its surroundings. So they quickly grab their gear and set off. This segment has been brought to you by Matthews Archery.
So I'd encourage everybody to go on the Gunworks site, and they have a rifle builder tool on there where you can go in and build your own rifle and customize it how you like it. The different options, different colors. You know, you can add the bipod, you can add the rangefinders, you can buy the whole package at once. But the big thing is you can go on there and completely build the rifle just like you like it. This just so happens to be the one that I like. It's kind of their Mountain X version. It's a magnet stock, fluted barrel, and in the 7 LRM, which is the Gunworks cartridge.
Gunworks, 1,000 yards out of the box. Deep in the backcountry of the Northwest Territories, Chad Hall and his guide Brady have spotted a bull moose over 2,000 yards away. To get a better look at the bull, they have hiked closer and higher to gain a better vantage point. This also allows the team to analyze the surrounding terrain in case they need to make a quick game plan.
Right on the edge of the trees there, right below us. Just down there, you can see his white pants. You see him there? Oh yeah. Just right. He's only like 1,000 yards away.
The bull has reappeared, and the team has successfully closed the distance another 1,000 yards.
Yeah, we were just sitting down here to glass around, and I looked right below us, and there's a bull like right on the timberline there, just working his way down towards the river there. It looks pretty good in the scope, so. See what he does and maybe make a play on him. He's got a piece of velvet hanging off his one horn at the back there.
Yeah, he looks big.
Yeah, he's a good one. He comes out. Hopefully he comes out and beds a little bit off that tree line and we can drop down right here and get on that knob. Get just above him a little bit, that should be.
All right down there to there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wind would be perfect. So you'd be higher than him there, and it's only like 300-400 yards.
Yeah, it'll be 300-400 yards from there, which isn't bad on a moose. I think if he keeps staying where he is, we'll just maybe drop down this hill. And I think if we get into those trees there, we should be able to possibly get a shot across at him. He doesn't look like he's going anywhere fast, so probably got time to get down there, I think.
I would think so. I think he's going to hang up there all day.
So it's probably close to 10 by now. Yeah, it's 9:20 to 10, so. Probably getting sleepy. I think maybe let's try that. We'll pack up slowly here and work our way down there.
After watching the bull, the team figures the moose won't be moving far from that area and will most likely bed down. So the team decides to pack up and head down the mountain in hopes of closing the distance, another 600 some yards. An hour passes, and the team has made it most of the way down the mountain, just before hitting the willows.
I think we'll just sneak down this ridge and get into those trees below us there. And we should be a little bit higher than we should be able to see kind of into where he's bedded. It's pretty thin actually where he's bedded, so we got a pretty good chance here to go down there and see what happens. Ready?
The team quickly and cautiously moves down the mountainside. Willows that begin to reach 7 feet high slow the team down and make the trip noisier. It also creates a prime area for an unexpected grizzly encounter. After spotting 4 grizzlies this morning outside of camp, the team is at the ready for any surprise visitors. 45 minutes pass, and the team spots the moose bedded. They quickly get into position.
We just set up here on the side of the hill. Kind of found it. It's tough to find an open area because the brush is so high. But we were fortunate to find this area right here where just like a straight shot. We can see him at 400 yards. So I got my outdoors and tripod set up with a rear rest. It's rock solid. And we're just gonna wait for him to get out of his bed and move either left or right of these 2 big pine trees in front of us and see if we can get it done. Hopefully he's moving slow because it's a very narrow gap. We got a good chance here. We just need a little bit of luck that he goes the one way or the other way, not straight. So hopefully it all works out. Time goes out.
While Brady and Chad wait for the moose to move, several miles away, Chad's friend Nick Stilson was flown out earlier in the morning due to kidney stones. It was hard for Nick to leave, but had to be done in case he had any major complications. Tom Gibson has stayed to keep hunting. They have spotted some caribou high up on the mountain and have been climbing for several hours to get a better eye on them.
Well, we're still sitting here waiting on this bull. He's taking a good nap. Keeps picking his head up, moving around a little bit, but hasn't shown any signs of wanting to get up to stretch or move around. We're going to give him a little bit of time, and we might motivate him to make a move, make a few calls or so. We want to be careful not to spook him or get him moving too quickly because we got a very narrow window here to shoot through. So we're going to give him some time and see what happens right now, and then make a plan.
Just as Chad finishes his sentence, the bull moose stands up for the first time in 2 hours.
Uh-oh, here we go. Here we go. He's going to start moving here. Give him another few steps. Oh, he's acting like he's going to go back the other way. He takes a couple steps past that, and it's all, there's no brush there at all.
If you can kill him, kill him.
The bullet is in the chamber. Chad's rest is rock solid. The time to shoot is now. Next week on Sheep Shape, the crew digs down deep in the Northwest Territories. Keith closes the distance on a giant bull moose. Tom lays eyes on a caribou, and Chad sends one downrange. It is an unforgettable hunt. Next week on Sheep Shape.